Tonight, KHOU 11 Investigates found the nonprofit group trying to open that migrant center we just talked about in Houston has a history of health and safety violations at other shelters it runs in Texas. Investigative reporter Jeremy Rogowski here with what he's discovered. Jeremy?
Len, we're talking about sick kids not getting the medicine they need, or injured kids not getting to see a doctor right away. These are just some of the violations we found at Southwest KHOU Programs Incorporated. It's the biggest player nationwide in caring for kids who cross the border.
Southwest KHOU Programs is licensed to house more than 3,000 kids at its Texas shelters, and the CEO is proud of the care.
We do it very well. We do it better than anybody else.
The nonprofit gets more money than anyone else in Texas, more than $500 million in federal funding, and that concerns some advocates.
There's a lot of money coming through.
And so there's a lot of desire to cut costs.
Ann Chandler runs the KHOU Justice Center in Houston.
And my concern is cutting costs when children are this traumatized.
A review of 3 years of inspection reports at Southwest KHOU Program's 16 Texas shelters reveals violations for a child clearly in pain and not given medical care promptly. Another with a fractured wrist who was not seen by a doctor until 3 days later, and yet another not given any medical treatment whatsoever. Other violations include giving medication in error, giving the wrong medication to the wrong child.
The shelters right now are scrambling.
Chandler says under the new zero-tolerance border policy, shelters are having a tough time keeping up.
The system is overloaded.
So many kids came so quickly.
Dr. Juan Sanchez of Southwest KHOU Programs said as much in a recent interview with our sister station in Austin.
Because right now we have asked our staff, many of our staff, to work 12-hour days to be able to manage all these kids.
In a statement, Southwest KHOU Programs said its overall deficiency rate is less than 1% of all standards evaluated. The nonprofit also said it self-reports problems to the state, launches internal investigations, and has disciplined staff, ranging from termination to retraining.
And Southwest KHOU Programs also says any new employees must go through 80 hours of training before working with children. The nonprofit adds that the United Nations Human Rights Council recognizes its good work with migrant children. Jeremy Rogowski, KHOU 11 Investigates.
Thank you, Jeremy. And we will bring you updates from the border tonight at 10 and on KHOU.com.
Still ahead, the marijuana